The San Diego Sports Medical Foundation is gathering together for their annual event, The Taste at the Cove. This is their 17th such get-together. The purpose is to raise money to help high school athletes get the very best in sports medical treatment, whether they can afford it or not. It's coming up this Wednesday at the La Jolla Cove. 5:30, the honoree, one of the big honorees is Rod Laver. And of course, the man who's responsible for this big event is joining us right now, Dr. David Chao, longtime Charger physician, now an NFL network pundit on the internet. You're an internet doctor.
Medical analyst.
Medical analyst, but more importantly, you're a fundraiser. We'll get to that in just a moment. But LT, coming back home and not wanting to talk to the media, does that surprise you?
Well, I mean, some people would say I'm pseudo-media now. I mean, I was planning on going up there, but you trumped him. I would hope he would have talked to me if I went up there. No, I mean, I think it's a fundraiser. I think that's what it is for disabled vets. So maybe that's where he wants to focus. I don't know.
All right, well, let's speak about your fundraiser. It's the 17th such. First of all, congratulations on the longevity. Obviously, it's a big part. You become a fabric part of the community. What you're trying to do is raise money to help athletes, not just football players, get medical treatment that they can't otherwise afford. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Absolutely. And you know, the first thing I would say, I hate to correct my host here, you've been so kind to me and the event and so forth. It's not my event. It's San Diego Sports Medicine Foundation's event. It's an event where we raise money for kids. It's a public nonprofit 501c3. It happens to be my passion that I help some other doctors start, but it's not my event at all. It really runs because of guys like you that support it, that talk about it, that buy tables and come to it. This year we have Urban Group Sports. They are putting together all the restaurants in terms of getting us new restaurants to come out here. So that's what it's all about, you know, sponsorship and people helping out kids.
And an event like this, well, I know you're still hawking tables, and so you're still trying to drum up money, but if you have a good night, you're going to make it well into the six figures, right?
Well, that's our hope, and you know, we don't want to count anything before it happens.
Yeah. So how do you determine where that fundage goes?
Well, we have a medical board, and Larry Dunsing is the honoree this year, and he'll be our 17th medical honoree. So the medical honorees are put on a medical board, and they vote on where to distribute the money. And one of our big programs this year will actually be mental health, whether head injury health or, you know, related to depression in kids.
A lot of suicide. I mean, it's a scary phenomenon that no one's talking about there amongst sports athletes.
And that's what some of the doctors want to focus on this year, and so that's how we'll spend some of the money this year.
Rod Laver, as I mentioned, is going to be, I know he's not technically a San Diegan, but he's been here so darn long, and boy, I bet you he'll hold the crowd's interest when he gets up to speak.
Well, Rod Laver is arguably, as you correctly cited, the best tennis player ever. 2 career Grand Slams, where in 5 years we couldn't even play because of the politics of tennis. And he's been here 20 years, and so he fits our mold of an MVP Hall of Fame caliber person on and off the field. Like LT was a previous honoree, like Trevor Hoffman, and now Rod Laver, and so forth.
You've had
Tony Gwynn. The video you saw there was last year when Randy Jones was the honoree, and Padres were big supporters. This year it'll be more of a tennis theme, and I botched the name earlier. Urban Strategies Group is who's sponsoring the restaurants this year for us and bringing in some 25 restaurants with really good food.
A lot of this, I realize it takes a village, so I know you're being accurate, but a lot of this is on your shoulders as far as just gripping and grinning and making these connections. You are the most well-connected physician this side of the Rocky Mountains.
Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about Kira Finkenberg, who really helps run the event, and my wife Kim, and hi Davis, Dylan, and Devin. They've not seen Dad a lot this month because of after-hours work to try and put this together.
Well, I want to jump ahead here. Lincoln High School, I was telling you about, the Ronnie Lott Foundation is helping them get baseline testing on all their kids. I know you're obviously agree with that. Is that one of the things, is that one of the proactive steps schools can make to help? You know, they're all dealing with declining participation numbers, and you have to convince mom and dad that we're doing everything to make the sport as safe as possible. Is that a step in the right direction?
That is absolutely a step in the right direction, and the reason why I'm for that is one concrete thing that we can actually do. Right now, I've said before and lots of times that there's so much more that we don't know about concussions than what we even do know about concussions. We're in our infancies, pre-MRI, when we didn't know what an ACL was. I mean, right now, your knee, in the past, in the 50s, if your knee was injured, it's a knee sprain. Now we say whether you got knocked out and were unconscious for 10 minutes or had 3 seconds of stars, both are called concussions. They're clearly not the same thing. So one of the things that you can actually do right now going forward is to get baseline testing to see that if you return to that level before you return to play. That's at least one safe thing that you could do.
So it helps not only in the treatment, but in the when a kid can be green lighted again.
Yes.
All right, let's throw the graphic up again. Tell folks, now it's not, I know you want people to buy a dinner, you want the biggest party possible, but buy a table. But for those who just want to help out, there's a way to do that as well, right?
Absolutely. You can go to the Taste at the Cove website, tasteatthecove.com, or sdsmf.com, San Diego Sports Medicine Foundation.com. And look, if I get it, not everyone can afford the ticket price or come to the event. We are trying to raise money, but we're open for volunteers that help on the committee to prepare next year's events as well. We have a good time and we have some fun.
So when the last guest leaves the Cove area, do you just breathe a sigh of relief and then take a 48-hour break, or what?
Well, when the last guest leaves, there's still a lot of work and cleanup to be done, and we have good people like Angela who clean up the event and make it run very smoothly. But we actually have an after party up the hill at Dominic's table for sponsors, but also for the volunteers who have worked all night. They need something to drink and eat too.
All right, we wish you successful. Of course, obviously KUSI will be there. We look forward to the get together at Taste at the Cove Wednesday night. All right, here's what's cooking tonight on the All Sports Report. We'll be making it to 4 prep stops. You'll find them only on KUSI. The 5 p.m. newscast is sadly over, but here's some good news. The 6 p.m. newscast is coming around the bend.